The first thing I noticed wasn't the balance. It was the notification. Transfer complete. $247, 318.64. At first, I thought it was fraud. I opened the banking app again. Same number. Another transfer. Then another. Within 30 seconds, our joint account had gone from 6 figures to $18.41. I just stared at the screen. My wife, Emma, was still asleep beside me. At least, that's what I thought. I rolled over. Her side of the bed was empty. Cold. She'd been gone for hours. Then I noticed the closet. Half her clothes were missing. So were 2 suitcases. That's when my phone buzzed. One message. From Emma. Don't try to stop me. Nothing else. No explanation. No goodbye. 8 years of marriage. Reduced to 4 words. I called immediately. Straight to voicemail. Again. Voicemail. Again. Blocked. I sat on the edge of the bed, trying to convince myself there had to be an explanation. Maybe she'd been hacked. Maybe someone forced her. Maybe. I already knew none of that was true. Emma knew every password, every PIN, every security question. Because we'd always trusted each other. Or at least, I trusted her. 20 minutes later, I was sitting in my car outside the bank before it even opened. There were already 3 people waiting. I've never wanted a door to unlock so badly. The moment they opened, I walked straight to customer service. I explained everything. The woman behind the desk looked at my account, then at me, then back at the screen. She asked one question. Was your wife an authorized account holder? I nodded. She sighed. That wasn't the answer I wanted. She explained that because it was a joint account, Emma had every legal right to withdraw the money. No warning. No approval. No phone call. Nothing. Just like that, our savings were gone. House deposit. Emergency fund. Investment money, waiting to be transferred. Everything. I walked back to my car feeling numb. Then my mother called. I almost ignored it. Instead, I answered. She sounded angry. Not worried. Angry. She asked how I could do this to Emma. I asked what she meant. She said Emma had called the entire family before sunrise. According to her, I'd been cheating for months. I'd become emotionally abusive. I'd threatened to leave her with nothing. So she took what was hers before I could steal it. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. She hadn't just emptied the account. She'd emptied my reputation too. By lunchtime, my sister wasn't answering my calls. My older brother texted me only once. Don't contact Emma again. Even my dad, who rarely got involved in family drama, told me maybe I needed to look in the mirror. It felt like my entire life had disappeared in a single morning. That afternoon, I finally reached Emma. She answered on the 4th attempt. She sounded relaxed, like someone on vacation. She told me she'd done what any woman would do. She wasn't going to let me ruin her future. I asked what I had supposedly done. She laughed. Then she said, "You know exactly what you did." The problem was, I didn't. After the call ended, I spent hours replaying the last few months in my head. Late nights at work. Business trips. Missed dinners. Had I ignored her? Probably. Had I cheated? Never. Around 7 that evening, my phone rang again. This time, it wasn't Emma. It was someone from the bank's fraud department. And the first sentence out of his mouth made me realize Emma hadn't actually gotten the money. Not yet. I thought the call was about getting the money back. It wasn't. The man from the fraud department introduced himself and asked me not to interrupt until he finished. He explained that the transfer hadn't been completed. It had been flagged. Not because of the amount, because of the destination. Apparently, Emma had tried to move the entire balance into a brand new account that had been opened less than 24 hours earlier. For a transaction that large, that triggered an automatic fraud review. The money wasn't in our account anymore, but it wasn't in hers either. It was frozen. I asked the question that mattered. So, where is it? He answered with 2 words. In limbo. Neither of us could access it until the investigation was complete. I should have felt relieved. Instead, I just felt exhausted. Then he asked something unexpected. Did you authorize today's transfer? No. Did your wife tell you she planned to withdraw everything? No. He thanked me. Then said someone from the investigations team would probably contact me within the next day. The call ended. 10 minutes later, Emma called. She wasn't calm anymore. She sounded terrified. She tried to pretend everything was fine. Asked how my day had been, as if she hadn't just emptied our savings. I let her talk. Eventually she asked, "Has the bank called you?" There it was. The first crack. I simply said yes. Silence. Then she carefully asked what they'd said. I lied. Nothing important. She didn't believe me. I could hear her breathing change. She asked if I'd confirm the transfer if anyone contacted me. I didn't answer. She kept talking. She said the money belonged to both of us anyway. She just needed to protect herself. I finally asked the question I'd been holding in all day. Protect yourself from what? Another silence. Then, from you. I almost laughed. Instead, I asked what I'd actually done. Emma repeated the same sentence she'd used that morning. You know. No. I didn't. The call ended with neither of us saying goodbye. That evening, I opened Facebook. Emma had made another post. This one was longer. She thanked everyone for supporting her. She wrote about surviving emotional abuse, about escaping a toxic marriage, about finally taking control of her life. Thousands more comments. People I'd grown up with were calling her brave. My own aunt commented, "You should have left sooner." Every word felt like another punch. Then my phone buzzed again. This time, it was my younger sister, the only person who hadn't blocked me. She asked if we could meet. Not at home. Somewhere private. We met at a small coffee shop. She looked uncomfortable. She admitted Emma had been talking to the family for months. Little comments. Little stories. Always subtle. She never accused me directly. She just planted doubts. That I was becoming controlling. That I hid my phone. That I stayed late at work too often. That I didn't care anymore. Piece by piece, she built a version of me that none of them questioned. My sister lowered her voice. Then she said something that made my stomach drop. Emma hadn't just emptied the bank account. She'd already contacted a divorce lawyer. 3 weeks ago. Before she'd taken the money. Before she'd told anyone I was abusive. Before I'd even realized something was wrong. Everything had been planned. The accusations. The transfer. The social media posts. All of it. I drove home in complete silence. When I walked into the empty house, I noticed something strange. Emma had packed almost everything. Except one drawer. Her desk drawer. Inside was nothing valuable. Just old receipts. Warranty papers. Random documents. And one folded envelope. It wasn't addressed to me. It was addressed to the bank. I opened it. The first line made my heart stop. Emma hadn't opened that new account in her own name. She'd opened it, using someone else's identity. I read the name 3 times. It wasn't Emma's. It belonged to her younger sister. For a second, I wondered if I was misunderstanding what I was looking at. Then I saw the signature. Emma's handwriting. Her sister's ID number. A power of attorney. Everything had been prepared weeks before she emptied our account. This wasn't a decision made in anger. It was a plan. I called the investigator from the bank the next morning. He asked me to email the document immediately. 20 minutes later, he called back. His tone had completely changed. He thanked me. Then he asked where I'd found it. Apparently, the account receiving our money had already been flagged for another reason. The identification documents used during the application didn't match several security checks. The bank hadn't released a single dollar. Everything was still frozen. Then he said something I wasn't expecting. Your wife has been calling us every hour, not asking when the money would arrive, begging us to release it. The investigator asked one final question. Did you know she wasn't using her own account? No, I didn't think so. That afternoon, Emma showed up at the house. She didn't knock. She still had a key. She walked inside like nothing had happened. The confidence she'd had on the phone was gone. She looked exhausted. The first thing she asked was, "Did the bank contact you?" I nodded. She sat down immediately. Then she admitted the money was frozen. She said it was just a misunderstanding. That once I confirmed everything, the bank would release it. I asked why she'd opened the account under her sister's name. She looked away. She said it was just easier. I knew she was lying. People don't transfer nearly $250,000 through someone else's identity because it's easier. They do it because they don't want the money traced. Or because someone told them it was a good idea. I asked where she'd gotten the idea. She hesitated, then quietly admitted. Her divorce lawyer had never told her to do it. It had been her friend Melissa. The same friend who'd spent the last year telling Emma that every successful divorce started with protecting your money. Emma believed her, without checking, without asking anyone, without realizing she'd nearly turned a civil divorce into a criminal investigation. She looked at me, then said the words I'd been waiting to hear. "I'm sorry. Not for taking the money. Not for telling my family I was abusive. Not for destroying my reputation." She was sorry. Because the plan had failed. There was a difference. And once I noticed it, I couldn't unsee it. A week later, both of us met with the bank's legal department. After reviewing everything, they restored the entire balance to the original joint account. Then they immediately froze it until the divorce settlement. Neither of us could touch a penny. Emma burst into tears. She'd expected to leave that meeting with the money. Instead, she walked out with exactly what she started with. Nothing. Over the next few months, the truth slowly reached my family. My sister showed my parents the messages Emma had been sending her for months. Not messages about abuse. Messages about making sure everyone stayed on her side. She'd been planning the narrative long before she filed for divorce. My mother called me crying. She apologized for believing Emma without asking a single question. My brother did the same. It didn't erase what happened, but it mattered. The divorce was finalized 9 months later. The money was divided by the court. Fairly. Exactly the outcome Emma had tried so hard to avoid. A few weeks after everything was over, I heard through mutual friends that Melissa was no longer speaking to Emma. Apparently, when the investigation started, Melissa denied ever giving her advice. Emma had risked everything. For someone who disappeared the moment things went wrong. Sometimes people ask if I regret having a joint bank account. I don't. Because the account wasn't what betrayed me. The person I trusted did. Emma thought emptying our account overnight would leave me with nothing. What she forgot was that money isn't the only thing banks keep records of. Sometimes, they keep the truth too.